Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message, and I want to talk to you all about social media etiquette, or what some would call netiquette. Now, excuse the cicadas that you hear in the background. You all already know that it's the time and season for them to be in rare form. But anyway, let me talk to you guys, and what inspired me to make this video message is because of the fact a lot of people have been offended by the messages I've been putting out for the last week or two. People have really been cutting up, especially this week, so much to the point of calling me prideful, calling me haughty, trying to ask me invasive personal questions to throw me off or to distract me, kind of like low-key shade and being real nasty, things of that nature. But I want to break down to you all just a few things about what social media etiquette is. It's really sad that I have to put this message out, because I like to think that overgrown men and women already know how this operates. And people should already know that just because you are in a public space, just because you have a platform or you visit the platforms of other people or the channels or the pages and profiles of other people, this does not give you a license or the right to just randomly come saying certain things to them, making certain statements to them, and even asking them personal questions about their life or their health, their finances, or their marital status, when in reality, it's really none of your business. Let me break something down to you all. Now, when people put their personal business up on social media, they are making the personal choice of what they want to share with the public. So typically when you see most people who have a channel or a page or a platform, they post, they talk about, they go live, or they even show pictures or an inside glimpse. It's only a glimpse. It's only a very small window of something pertaining to their personal life, maybe their children, their marriage, where they work. Maybe they are showing you their journey on weight loss, or maybe they are recovering from being addicted to something. I have seen videos like that where someone was addicted to maybe alcohol or drugs, something like that. And so when they are recovering from that and coming out of that, they take you on their day-to-day journey as to what they do to keep them from going back to that pit. And so we all can respectfully show love and tell people, you know what, you're doing a good job. I'm praying for you. Good job. God is good. Stay encouraged. Stay strong. Or people will, in turn, if it resonates with them, what the person is posting, they will share their personal story if it's similar to the person who is posting it on their platform. However, I need you all to know, because some of you all probably don't know this, but I'll tell you, if you see somebody's public channel or their page or profile, this does not mean that you have the right to say whatever it is you want just because you're grown, or just because if they put it out there or they just have a profile or a channel, period, it is your business. That's not how this runs. And I'm going to prove it to you by saying this before I finish the message. People who take on that mentality that a lot of you do, that, oh, well, if you have a channel and you don't want anybody in your business, you don't need to have a channel. You don't need to post anything. You don't need to share anything. You don't need to talk about anything. But the reality is this: you can still make certain statements, whether it be on your personal platform. You can tweet out certain things. You can post you can post personal things, or you can go on somebody else's channel, their page, their profile, and you can say something inappropriate. But guess what has happened to a lot of people that plays this game and they do these things? They have lost their job. They have lost their influence. They have lost their position of power and authority simply because of them passing a certain opinion, making a certain statement, or getting nasty and ugly and disrespectful on the channel, the profile, or the page of a certain person. And when they did it, some of these things have went viral. This is why a lot of you all who come up on social media and you make it your business to brag about your occupation. I'm not saying anything is wrong with it, but some people, they intentionally boast and brag and put up what their occupation is and how much money they make. And these, from what I've observed, this may not be for everybody, but from what I've personally observed, the people who do this, they are also the main ones that are very nasty, rude, ignorant, disrespectful, and they take it up on themselves to say whatever they like to other people. And when somebody gets hurt, or when they repost it and show what was said, or they screenshot it, that person ends up losing their job. We have seen this so many times with very powerful and prominent, prestigious people. And although a lot of you out here, you may not be that powerful, you may not be prominent, you may not be prestigious and well known, you still got to be mindful of what you're saying to people. See, what I find is that the nicer I am, sometimes it invites disrespect from certain people. Not all people. There are a lot of people, they are very sweet, kind, and loving. And they appreciate the fact that I interact and I make them feel seen. I make them feel, important, because they are. And I do care about how people feel, unbeknownst to some of you who probably think otherwise. But you need to understand that just because somebody is nice, just because you are kind of familiar with them, you never get so comfortable and familiar with the person to where you really believe you have the right to start asking them certain questions or saying certain things to them. If somebody is not organically telling you something, then that means that they don't want you to know. And then even if they don't tell you anything, you cannot make the assumption that what you think or what you got a glimpse of or whatever's going on in your mind, that you are accurate with what you're thinking, what you claim you see, or what you think you know. You still don't have all the facts. You still don't see what's going on behind the scenes, and you still don't know what chapter of that person's life you are viewing. And so please understand that some people, you may see them going through something and you may think it's by their own hand or something they're doing. But how can you be so sure that that's what it is? Sometimes you step in on a chapter, even when you watch certain content creators and influencers, you step in on a chapter where the enemy is attacking them. And this is something behind the scenes that spiritually they have to battle that. They have to stay in prayer. They have to cry out to God. They have to stay in that word. They have other people praying for them. But to an outsider looking in, you'll see something and you'll think you have all the facts. You'll think you have the answer and you'll know exactly what you're talking about. And so when you start asking certain questions and saying certain things, when people get hurt, or when people get offended and they tell you, listen, don't ask me that. Don't ask me anything personal. This is not up for discussion. Then you all want to launch attacks verbally and say, oh, this person is haughty. This person is arrogant. This person is prideful. This person doesn't like anything said to them. This person thinks that they're above being asked a certain question. Well, they shouldn't be on YouTube if they don't want to be asked certain things. The thing is, whether somebody's face is out here or not, or their name is out here or not, or they're well known by many people or not, you still have to be careful what you're saying to people because you don't personally know them. That's number one. And that's mind-boggling to me how some people out here, you will go up under the pages, the profiles, and the channels of celebrity people and people that you know, whether you went to school with them or not, or you grew up with them or not, and you all will be extremely comfortable making certain statements when in reality you have not probably been around that person either at all, or if you know them, you no longer know them now. You knew them from school. You knew them from the old neighborhood. You knew them in your childhood, but they're a totally different man or woman. And so people get so comfortable just asking certain questions. You never come out and ask somebody something about their health. Now, guess what? If you want to know something about their health and you're really concerned, the first thing you need to do is be praying. You don't ever come out publicly asking people about their finances, asking people about their health, asking people about their marital status. You just don't do that, because who are you, or who do you think you are, to where somebody owes you or you're entitled to know anything pertaining to them? Now, I'm not saying when certain people ask these questions that they really are not concerned. That's not what I'm saying. But there is a time and a place for everything. You don't come out just publicly and then it's so random. Some of you all are so random. If you see a video message talking about one topic, one of my guidelines up here on my platform and my channel is that you stick to the topic. You stick to the topic. So if you're coming up under here and you're just randomly asking a certain question to me, or you're making a certain statement, you are out of line. It's inappropriate. And honestly, I say this respectfully, I literally don't care about how any one of you feel about it. See, the thing is, I'm bold enough and courageous enough to set boundaries with people who may be inspired by me, or they love me, or they love this platform. It's all by the grace of God that I am here and I am able. I am graced to do what I do, and I don't take it lightly. But you all have got to understand, people have the right to set boundaries with you. People have the right to withhold information from you that really is not your business. People have the right to keep their personal, private lives personal and private. If they're not telling you anything, it's because they don't want you to know. If you feel led because the Holy Spirit has touched you, or the Holy Spirit has heightened your discernment, and you feel like you're picking up on something, or you notice something, whatever it is, keep it to yourself and pray for that person. Because you've got to consider how other people feel before you even come and you start trying to dig into their personal life. Like I said, when it comes to their health, when it comes to their marital status, when it comes to their career, when it comes to their living situation, when it comes to all of these different things, because you got to remember, you are still living life too. And where you're an outsider looking in and you're comfortable in the seat you're in, meaning you don't have influence, you may not have a profile or a platform, or if you do, a lot of people are not paying attention to you. I don't say this to be arrogant. I'm speaking truth. You all just have to stop thinking that the truth is negative, is pride, and somebody is being nasty and haughty when they just tell you simple truth. People had this problem with Jesus Christ. When he would just tell them simple truth, people would go through a tailspin. But what I'm saying is that you can have a profile or a platform, but people are not paying attention to it. They don't care about what you're talking about. And so until you get in a certain position, until you get in a certain seat, until you are at a certain level, you probably cannot empathize or sympathize with people who are out here, and their faces out here, and their name is out here, and they are putting things in the airwaves that does tap the spiritual realm. See, this is something that I know as well. I know when you really start speaking truth, sometimes people will want to come after you. We just saw that happen with a man of God. I don't need to say his name. It's on all these different social media sites. And initially, I didn't even know who the man was. But it's sad to say that when you speak truth, you will not be people's cup of tea. People will call you every name in a book. They will slander you. They will make accusations against you. And they will blatantly be disrespectful and just slanderous towards you, what you've built, what you're building, and your reputation overall, without even realizing that, hey, one day your personal situation can change. You don't know how God's gonna touch you or your life. You may not be known today, But in another 3 days or next week or a month from now or 6 months from now, God can catapult you to the top, and the whole world knows your name. They know your face. They know who you are. And if somebody was to overstep a boundary that one of you all set, and they start asking you questions about your health, they start asking you about the husband or the wife that's in your life, or if you even have a husband or a wife, or why don't you have children, or do you have children, how many children do you have? They're asking you how much you weigh. They're making statements telling you you need to do this and you need to go do that. How would some of you feel if people started publicly coming at you asking you these questions? See, a lot of you all, you probably would say, well, I don't care. People ask me that all the time. Yeah, but these are probably people that are familiar with you. These are your siblings. These are your family members. These are your friends. These are people that are probably around you on a day-to-day basis. But how dare any one of us get so comfortable with an individual that we don't know? I know in a lot of you all's mind, because you're parasocial, you're extremely parasocial. You feel like, oh, I know this person. I am friends with this person. I watch their videos. I like their videos. I share their videos. So I got the right to come out and ask them something. They're really nice to me. They're really sweet to me. They always respond to my comments. So I got the right to ask them about their health. I got the right to ask them about their relationship status. I got the right to ask them about their money or their job or their sexuality. All the things that a lot of you all do overall, because it's not just me that people try to cut up with. It's other people too. But see, I am bold enough to put people back in their place in love and respectfully. See, I don't have to curse. I don't have to scream. I don't have to hit below the belt and call out anybody's name. I don't have to call anybody out of their name and be nasty. I just don't have to do it. See, when people start hitting below the belt and they want to talk about your appearance, or they want to talk about he said, she said, or they want to try to use against you something they've heard you say in a video or certain information you shared in your live, they will do that hoping that it's going to break you, hoping that it's going to make you question your value, your worth, and hoping that you'll change your mind about what it is that you do. But it's not going to change anything. It's just going to make me go harder. It's just going to make me go harder. But you all have to have the etiquette to know, guess what? If somebody is doing their job, you've got to, number one, the first part of netiquette or social media etiquette is that you've got to mind your business. Whatever job that person is doing on the internet, keep it to that. Keep it to the topic of what it is they're discussing, what it is they're advertising, what it is that they're showcasing. You don't randomly come up and just start asking them or making certain statements to them when it has nothing to do with the topic. And then when some of you all do this, you get mad when you're deleted and blocked. How do you get mad when you're deleted and blocked? You're out of order. What you're making statements about, what you're asking, it has nothing to do with the issue at hand as far as the topic that that person or those people are speaking on. The second thing you've got to realize is that you got to be careful with your words, because what I was about to say a few minutes ago, people who are not intelligent and people who don't have more words in their vocabulary, these are the ones that will curse you out. I'm not saying I've never cussed people out. I've raised my voice. I've cursed people out. I've been mean, okay? But not up here. When I did it, it was years ago, because I just got fed up. But like I said, and I'm the first to say, and I'm not ashamed or embarrassed of it, God has done a mighty work on me. When I'll just outright ignore somebody, I'll laugh it off, or I don't even give you a response. I'll just delete your comment and block you and move on with my life. But what I'm saying is that when you have more words and when you know how to have a disagreement respectfully, you don't hit below the belt. You don't call people out of their name. You don't have to try to be shady and bring the palm trees and bring the sunscreen to somebody's channel, page, or profile, because you don't have anything else substantial to correct them or to say to them, because you may be offended or not in agreement with something that they are teaching, preaching, revealing, prophesying, or sharing as far as information goes. So I'm letting you all know before I end this video message, you've got to grow up and you've got to be more mature when you are up here on social media. I just gave a few little things that are minor. I could go a lot deeper into this, but all I'm saying is that when you want to know something, or if you feel led to ask somebody something because you are concerned for real, you need to go behind the scenes and ask that. Don't play dumb. Don't tell a lie and say, I didn't know that you did have a public email. I never knew that. You all will know everything else about somebody's social media page. You'll know how many subscribers they had at 1 minute versus how many they lost. You'll know something they said in a live or something they said in a video 10, 15, 30 videos ago. You all will know about certain things that they did in the past, or you will bring that up and try to use it against them, but yet you don't know if they have a public email where you can ask them something or tell them, I'm concerned about this or that, or the Holy Spirit gave me this concerning you. It's a way to do things. You always exercise diplomacy and tact. You all have to learn how this social media spiel goes, because a lot of you all, you just really don't know. You're out here reckless. And I understand it gives a lot of you all a good chuckle. You get a good chuckle. I'm all for a good chuckle and a good laugh. But it's a time and a place for that. Everything is not funny. Everything is not to be laughed at. Everything is not to be made to make jokes about. It's just not the time and place for that all the time. You have moments where you do that, and then it's a time where you have to leave that nonsense in the parking lot or wherever you are. So learn proper etiquette. Learn how to talk to people. If people are coming up here using their precious time, their energy, and whatever resources they have to give you information or reveal messages to you that God is downloading in them, please understand that that's not light work. You may not respect it. You may not like it or really care for it. You may not really even understand it. But you got to understand, when you are a truth teller and when you come out here and you expose Satan, people try to come after you in the spiritual realm, and in some cases they'll try to pull it in the physical realm, but God protects you. But you got to understand, you will be hated out here when you tell the truth. It doesn't make me afraid, because I already knew from many years ago what came with this territory. It was already prophesied in my life years ago that enemies would be created behind the truth that I tell. And so I don't take what I do lightly, and I'm not intimidated by people who come up here trying to gaslight me, trying to manipulate me, trying to play these little social media games, saying certain things to pick and peg you and reel you into a debate and an argument with them, because they like conflict. They thrive off of it. They want to feel important. They want everybody looking at them and patting them on the back. They want to create a comment party so everybody is liking their comment and responding to it so they can blow up. It may not be everybody that does that with that heart and that intention, but a lot of you up here, that's what you're on. I've been doing this for a long time. I literally have seen and heard it all, not only with myself, but with other people. But I have to talk about this. I have to expose this, because the ignorance that lies in some of you is appalling. It's appalling. And may God bless your beautiful hearts. But you cannot play this game with certain people. You just can't. It's too many things going on in the world. It's too many changes that are being made, not only in the spirit realm, but in social media creation and content creation and influencers all the way around. And remember, what you put out is what you get back. You may not, I'm going to say it again, you may not be known today, but your life can change in 24 hours. Your life can change in 30 minutes. People have been minding their business and made one quick decision to do something, and it went viral and it blew up and the whole world knew their name. But when you have influence, when your face is out here, when your name is out here and people know who you are, that right there alone should make some of you all tread lightly before you comfortably say certain things to people, because it's a lot of a burden. Sometimes when your anonymity is not really there, and when people have you under a microscope and they're watching you and they're talking out the side of their throat, saying certain things to you, see, a lot of you all, you don't know how that feels. You don't care how it feels because it's not you. You're not in a position. You're not in a place. You can't even handle plain truth. So for some of you all, do you really think you would be able to handle being a influencer or a content creator? And I'm talking about whether you're saved or unsaved. Let's not be deep and over spiritualize or demonize this message, because some people, they'll do it. They'll do it. Well, when you come up here and you're a Christian woman, you can't have a mixture on your page or your ministry. Just because somebody has a YouTube channel doesn't mean that that's a ministry. It doesn't matter whether they talk about God or not. You all make these assumptions, but baby, I know where I am with God one-on-one. But what I'm saying is that somebody that is talking about everything across the board, all issues need to be addressed. Whether you're saved or unsaved, it doesn't mean anybody is calling people to themselves. You gotta address everything. How are people going to be redeemed? By the divine hand of the Lord. How are people going to be delivered? How are people going to be in a posture of repentance if everything is hidden? If you're tight-lipped about everything? I will always expose the enemy, and I do it unapologetically. I do it unapologetically. And I don't fear what people think about me. I don't fear people leaving this channel, because as many people come in, these same people that have a lot to say, when I don't agree with them or when I correct them, when they try to get ugly up here, then they leave. So I know flaky people, flaky folks, it comes with this walk as well, and I'm prepared for that. Overall, learn about Netiquette. Learn about social media etiquette. You have a place in this, whether you have your own platform or not. You have a responsibility, because you can simply make a statement or say something, and if somebody wants to come on your channel and they see your job up there, or they know where you work, or they know the people you skin and grin and bump shoulders with, if they're offended enough or if they're hurt, they may want to go to your job and contact your boss. They may want to go to your wife or your husband and let them know and screenshot them how nasty you are online. Because see, a lot of you all, you do this crap and your spouse doesn't know how you getting down behind the scenes. Your colleagues don't know how you get down. Your children don't know about your mouth and your attitude. But it would be shocking to see how some of you all deal with other people. You've got to be mindful of what you say. You've got to care, because you can be on that docket next where people feel comfortable saying certain things to you and calling you out of your name. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have taken offense to anything I spoke about in this video, it's okay, it's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned, because I know you will forgive me in the morning.